Hi and welcome to another battle report. This is 2500 points between Dwarfs and Bretonnia. So to start with my friend's Marcus deployment, he have first he have a bunch of iron breakers which are stubborn. Then he have a cannon with rune of fortune and a grudge thrower with rune of accuracy and fortune, so they can just reroll misfire and scatter dice on them. Then you have a horde of warriors with hand weapon and shield and a BSB with the stubborn banner, and you have a runesmith in that unit. Then you have a organ gun also with rune of accuracy. Then you have 25 great weapon warriors with a runesmith and a Fane in it. Then you have 10 hammers with a runesmith and his general Fane in it, and a gyrocopter. For my own list, I have 3 Peg Knights who have vanguarded up, 12 bowmen with flaming arrows, a unit of 10 errants with my level 4 Lore of Beast with Crown Command in it. Then I have 12 questing knights with a paladin, a signal of the quest, and the great weapon, and my lord with great vow, heroic killing blow, and heartwood lance, and a BSB with a 1-up rerollable armor save. Then I have 12 more realm, and in front of them I have 3 paladins with lance and morning stars and shields. Then I have 2 vanguarded units of 5 peasant cab who have already vanguarded up. Then I also have 2 trebuchet who have 5 pivots, so his cannon would have a harder time hitting them for his first turn. For my spell, I get off Savage Beast, the Curse, the Wild Form, and the Spear. And Marcus takes the first turn, and he moves up, as you can see in this picture, only pivoting his Iron Breaker and Dwarf hand weapon and shield horde to face my nice buses. His organ gun wasted some cannonballs on killing 5 mounted yeomen, and my other mounted yeoman actually passes a leadership 6 panic test and they stick around. His cannon kill my first trebuchet, and his grudge thrower takes 2 wounds on my other trebuchet. So I'm pretty happy with his first shooting phase because my knights haven't suffered any casualties, and if peasant die, well, that's a good thing. So for the Bretonnians' first turn, I start by charging my mounted yeoman into his gyrocopter. You never know, I have strength 4 and I have a charge, so I maybe win by like 2 and he fail a leadership test. But actually I'm in luck because that forest is a venom ticket, so I get poison attack and I only loses 1 of the yeoman from dangerous terrain test. And I push it up my knight's units in a comparable shot range for his dwarf. He needs to roll a 11 with his units, which make me have to roll a 6 for my units to make that shot. And I also move up my bowmen because they are out of range of his units. They were my first drop, so they was kind of out of place, but it's a good thing because they are useless anyway. For my magic, I first throw a spear on his organ gun, which uses his spell breaking rune to stop. Then I uses a wild form on my questing knight, which he also stops. And for my final 2 dice, I get off the curse on the organ gun to make it hopefully hit a little bit less. Well, this is ridiculous. My peasant charges his organ gun and I got 3 poison attacks and he fails all of his armor save, so he died. Obviously the rest of the dwarf passes their panic test, but it's kind of cool for my peasants to actually do something useful for once. Well, for Dwarfland 2, his Ironbreaker charges my peasant unit, and because I don't want them to outshine my knight unit, I choose to flee with them because if they take out 2 units of dwarf, they would totally outshine the knights, and that's not okay. And they end up behind my knights. His shooting doesn't do much. I lose 1 questing knight from I think the organ gun, and I lose 2 realm knights from the cannon, and I think his catapult scatters off and misses totally. Well, this is my turn too. I start by sending my realm knights into his great weapon warrior, and then I take my questing knight into his hammer, and it's actually very good for me because I have to wheel around my own unit. I only could clip his hammer unit, so he only have 4 of his hammer into base contact, and I have all of my knights into base contact with him. I also take my Pegasus knights and use them as shaft to stop his warriors and iron breakers from charging the flank of my realm. My peasants rally thanks to the bar of leadership from the errant knights, and they push us up. My errant knights move into position to cast out the bubble savage beast to all my characters, and my bowman is still out of sight of everything, so they just push us up a bit. Well, in the magic phase I do the genius move to 6 dice savage, and it didn't get miscast, so he uses the spell eating rune. He didn't get off the eating part of it, but my magic was shut down, so the combat didn't go very good for me. In the middle he killed 2 of my paladin, and 1 paladin suffered a wound. I do some warrior kills, but actually if I have 1 more knight he wouldn't be steadfast, but now he's steadfast, so he passes that leadership. In the other combat with the questing knights I totally just slaughter him outright. He have that runesmith who is running away from the combat left, and I kill all of his hammer, and I use the heroic killing blow to kill his Fane. So I just pivot around to face his great weapon warrior. So for his turn 2, his Ironbreaker charges my Pegasus knights to hopefully overrun into the realm lands, and his warrior unit just pushes up a bit to maybe charge my realm last next turn. He uses his cannon or his grudge thrower to kill my catapult on this corner. Well, it haven't done anything this whole game, so I guess that's what is the stupid peasant deserve. The Iron Break only managed to kill 1 of my peg knights. They break, and I run through my own lance, and he rolled like a 3 or 2 or something like that, so he didn't make it into my realm lance. I think he needed a 7 to make it into them. Well, in the combat with the Great Weapon Warrior, I still have a mini character wall because I sent forward my champion, so I think only 4 of his models could strike my units, and it didn't kill a lot, and I do some damage. As you can see, my paladin are still left in that unit, so I break him and I run him down. And for my turn, number 3, my questing knight charges his runesmith, and I take my errant lance and pushes them up to block his warriors and his Ironbreaker to get in the rear of my other knights. And they have the damsel in the middle have the crown of command, so they will hopefully not break. And also my Pegasus knights have rally, and my peasant cav is gone, so probably he killed them with the organ. In the medic phase I get off both wild form and savage beast on my prophecies in that unit to make them some more defensive. Well, I did kill his runesmith, and I run off the board to try to avoid some war machine fire next turn. So for his turn he kills 1 of my Pegasus knights, and they break and they run away. And of course he takes the charge with the Ironbreaker and warrior, but he didn't manage to do a lot of damage, and I'm stubborn, so I sticked. Well, my turn. Well, I hate miscast. I took up 3 dice and I roll a 5 and 2 6s, miscast. And for Bretonnia, everything you roll on the miscast table except for magic feedback is a bad one, because you either your whole unit explode or you're just losing wizard level. But as you can see, I have lost I think 8 knights with I think I roll a 6 or 7 or something like that. So my knight unit is as good as dead, and since it's my turn, he can reform and then he can charge in his turn. And well, as you can see, my knights are perfect up for a flank charge from his warrior next turn. And well, he killed my damn prophecies and he killed my champion. I think I only have the banner left, and well, I break and the banner runs away and die, so he get off the perfect flanking position I was talking about. Well, the game is there basically lost, but well, you have to do the best thing in this situation. He charges with his warrior and iron breaker, and my first lances fled off the board. I hope he fails a leadership test for redirecting, but he have like 10 and a reroll, so no problem. He needed to roll a 7 and he make it, but he fails with his iron breaker. If he charge, I think he charged them, yeah. And he makes it in, and I'm totally whiffed. Didn't do any damage at all with my 3 character. He didn't do any damage at all on me. I needed like a, I don't know, 3-2 to stick, and I run off the table. Well, in the shooting phase, this dwarf turn 4, he uses both his grudge thrower, his organ gun and his cannon to try to kill my peasant, but he really failed because 2 of them survive and they panic off the board away. So we have to take his dwarf turn 5 to use some other cannon to shoot at them, and well, at least dwarf lost some cannons balls firing as worthless peasant, so it's a good trade for me. And well, for the game, the dwarf won a pretty much big. I take 2 units and some characters, like I would say 1000 points approximately. He take like 3000 points or victory points worth of my units, something like that. But well, it was a good game, and I think I really had him when my knight unit break that great weapon warrior unit. But well, a miscast can really ruin the game plan. And well, that's the game. Some fine shit happens. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.